Aquarius, hi. So this is going to be a reading for July 29th through August 4th. And I'll take a look into your recent past, your current energies, and your immediate future. And then I'll close it off with a couple of cards from the universe for you. And these are general readings, so they may not resonate for all of you. If they do, there is an extended. At the end of the video, you can check out the link for that in the description box below if you want. Let's see, Aquarius. All right, the overall energy for the reading, the Justice card. I feel like you're trying to get a sense of balance for a situation, or maybe things are starting to feel a little more balanced. In the recent past, the Page of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Nine of Wands, there's little to no interest in something here. So you're kind of giving me a sense of putting effort into something. Not a lot of effort, just a little bit, but I don't even want to be putting this little bit into it. So you're dealing with something that either kind of went like that throughout in terms of your interest wasn't there much, or something flipped that brought you into a place of, I lost interest in this. I don't know what this is at this point, but you do. But anyways, in the current situation, the Hierophant, the Six of Cups, the Empress, this is all interest in, you know what I mean? So it's quite contrasting, coming from a place of into I'm all in. You know, we're talking about a potential soul connection here with the Six of Cups and the Empress. So there's definitely quite the involvement here, you know, in comparison to the past there. Now, we could be talking about the same situation. It's just that things changed. I don't know yet. In the immediate future, the Five of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Five of Swords. I think we're talking about the same situation because I see something happening here where the past is being... it's kind of playing back up. It's being brought back up. And it feels quite deceptive. It's like, because it doesn't carry a constant kind of an involvement in this. Whereas this would tell me something like, again, if you are dealing with the same situation throughout, it's showing me something like a sense of instability with it. Like you're not really with it, it's and then you're all in, and then it's like, again. It almost feels like someone is having a hard time letting go of the past. Whatever the hell may have happened there. If anything happened at all, I don't know. But, yeah. Okay. And I don't know if that someone is you at this point. It could be whoever you're dealing with. But, all right, let's clarify. Let me do the Justice card. All right. Yeah, we are talking about the same thing. It's just different ways of perceiving it and dealing with it. So, the Lovers, the Eight of Wands, the Star. Definitely a pretty important connection to you. Now I'm looking at your energy and how you're tied up energetically to the situation, and this is what I'm seeing. This is very important to me. I'm super open to it. I want it to work out, and I do look for a sense of balance here, you know, not this whole up and down and left and right, and, you know. Okay, so you are looking for that. Now, why isn't it happening? Let me see the Page of Swords in the recent past. The Ace of Cups, the Ten of Wands, the Six of Cups. You, I think this is you, had a little bit of a hard time opening up to this initially by the looks of it. It's there, it's happening. It's like, I want to, but, you know, it's not easy. Okay. Okay. But you're still trying. Quite the bumpy beginning to this as far as you're concerned. For the Eight of Cups, you get the Ten of Cups, the High Priestess, the Seven of Swords. Okay. I mean, everything about this felt right by the looks of it, from what you're showing me here. It's like, you know, when I look deep down inside, it just feels, everything feels right for me to open up to this. But you're not doing it. I mean, initially you're having a hard time, and then even with that, you still open up a little bit, but then it's becoming so difficult that you just shut down to it altogether, even though energetically it feels good. To the point of you potentially walking out, you know, on this. But I don't know if you did. You're kind of showing it to me here that you did-ish. For the Nine of Wands, you get the Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the Strength card. And I see you starting to look into yourself, you know, as this kind of starts to unfold, and then it hits you, hey, if this feels good, then what the hell am I doing here by, you know, not showing up for it, or I do with just a little bit and then I run away from it. So let me look into that. Which, cool that you had that aha moment here. I don't see you pointing any fingers. I don't see you saying, nah, it's their fault. It's because of them I don't open up. Yeah, they're doing something wrong here. Not really. You're kind of taking it as, you know what? Hold on a second. What the hell is going on? Because this is coming from me. So what's my problem here? What's my issue? Okay. Cool. Let me do the Hierophant. For the Hierophant in the current situation, you get the Page of Cups, the Moon, the Fool. Definitely progress here. A whole lot better. A whole lot better. Where I almost see no resistance at all, but it's still kind of looking like work in progress. So that resistance, even though it's not here now, it might show up along the way. Potentially a little bit different than the past, because as I said, there's you stopping and looking into yourself and working with that, and then you show up as best as you can with what you got at this time. Good. Let me see the Six of Cups, the Four of Cups, the Hermit, the Knight of Cups. You're still a little bit upset because you're kind of giving me a sense of, yeah, but I could do more, which yes, you could, but you're doing great for where you're at. You know, what's going to happen in the future, there's no reason to be upset about that, because you're going to do it anyway. You're going to potentially open up even more, because as I said, this is work in progress. So don't be upset now for what could happen in the future, basically, because that's kind of where you're at with this. And it's like, no, you know, instead, potentially even congratulate yourself for being where you're at with it, instead of being upset with yourself. For the Empress, you get the Five of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, the Justice card. There's a lot of stuff showing up. There's a lot of stuff showing up attached to, yes, how you're showing up for it, but also attached to a sense of pain that goes hand in hand for you with love. So that kind of gives me a sense of an old wound that's at play too. You know, where you might associate love with pain, trying to work on that, because then it goes automatically. It attaches itself to this whole fear or pain or whatever you want to call it. It attaches itself to the subject that your heart is opening up to, you know? So there's a lot of you kind of going through a balancing act here when it comes to these energies of yours, which is great. That, again, kind of brings in a sense of healing over things and a work in progress kind of a situation. So it's not going to happen, you know, over the course of the next 5 minutes for sure. And you're aware of that. It's sometimes shown up as painfully true, but for the Five of Cups in the immediate future, you get the Ace of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Chariot. You're really trying not to revert back to old ways, you know, where old ways kind of staying on this reading here, and what you're showing me in the past there is a sense of you opening up just a little bit, but then kind of shutting down to it, because who knows why. There's a lot of stuff in there that you're probably going through right now, through that healing of whatever that is. And I see you here as the future kind of knocks at your door, as the past is trying to pull you back in there, you know, in your behavior, and be like, just do that. It's easier. You've done it all your life. You know how to do it already. Just go ahead and do that, you know, in the way you used to do things. But now you're at a conflict because you've also experienced a new way of doing things, a new way of looking at things. So now you got two energies kind of bumping heads there, you know, the new way of doing things and the old way of doing things. And you wouldn't have the new way of doing things if you liked the old way, you know what I mean? But that's where the struggle comes in, because the new is fighting with the old. The old is trying to come in, and the new is like, no, we're changing things up here. So it's kind of an inner conflict here of the old you trying to take over, the new you saying, no, we'll do things in a very different way. So you might feel a little bit of an inner struggle here. With the Chariot being there, it's almost like a confirmation that you're actually on the right path here. Even though it may not feel that way, especially because at the end of the day, you just end up arguing with yourself here, you know? So it may look to you like there's no progress here. If anything, I feel worse, because now I got all these energies that keep on fighting, you know, inside of me there. Yeah and no. Interesting. So it's like old versus new here, and then they both join the party. For the Two of Cups, through all of this, by the way, through your old and new and the party for the old and new and all of that, there's a connection at playing out here, you know. So this should be quite interesting in how you're experiencing all of this. But for the Two of Cups in the immediate future, you get the Nine of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, the Empress. This is just what's showing up for you, you know, as these energies start to grow more and more, these new energies start to grow more and more. It's just what's happening for you internally, and how things shift for you as well. And then how some things might just not work out for you anymore, you know. Old ways of perceiving love in general, or commitment, or, you know, things like that. Because you're showing me here, you're almost saying I've learned it in a different way. Like it feels different. It looks different. Everything about energies coming together in love. It's just, it's way different than what I knew it to be. So not accepting the old ways anymore. Interesting. It's, quite the process here for you. For the Five of Swords, you get the Knight of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, the Devil. In here, you're showing up as wanting to do something. The problem is you have the drive, you have the feeling of, I need to do this. The issue with that is that you don't know what this is. So even though you may feel driven to do something, you don't know what. And then you go ahead and do it anyway, which usually, that's cool. That's okay. Cool. You'll figure it out as you go. You know, that's kind of the energy that normally shows up. But in this case, I wouldn't suggest you following that feeling if you're not clear about what it is that you want to do. Because you're showing me the energy of doing something. And then all throughout that energy, I see a sense of lack of balance like no tomorrow on your side. And then the end result looks pretty messy. So unless you have clarity, when you feel that drive of, ooh, and remember, the reason that you're kind of all over the place when you get to this point is because you're all over the place internally a little bit, you know, where the old is fighting the new. So until you figure out who's going to win that fight, whether it's the old or the new, I root for the new, but who the hell knows? But one of them needs to so that things are clear for you and where you're standing and what you want to do here. Because if you're coming from a place in which there's still an internal fight and struggle, then yeah, your actions are going to look a little bit not right. So when you get to this place of feeling the urge to do something, I don't even know what it is. It's just presenting itself as an urge that you would definitely feel. And you may think you know what you're doing here, but make sure you're coming from a clear space when you charge, because if you don't, then don't do it altogether, because it doesn't look pretty, So anyways, let me see what the universe has. The Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, as I said, yes, there's a battle of energies here, all sorts of things happening. But all of this is not going to present necessarily in real life, in the day-to-day life that you lead. So I'm seeing you having a little bit of a hard time kind of keeping it steady for that physical reality you have, for that physical life you're having, because there's quite the shit going on here, so I don't blame you for feeling a little heavy, so it's okay. It's going to pass. You can feel the heaviness of it. I do recommend you actually letting that play out. And you're also showing me here that as long as you don't forget to take care of yourself through the process, you should be fine. So I think you'll be fine here too. I think it's a lot of energy, even though it shows up as, handleable, not a big deal. You've gone through energies like these before, and you have. It's pretty pressing. It's quite a lot of energy to deal with, especially when it's so contradicting and playing out like that for quite a minute here. So with self-care, you should be able to pull through this, so that's what I have for you. Hope this helped, and I'll see you next time. Bye.